Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Figures of Sport podcast, episode 81. Guys, we've got an absolute banger for y'all today. I'll tell you that right now. We got a banger for you guys today. George is coming back to the podcast. We're talking NFL stuff. We got some NBA stuff. We've got a little bit of MLB to talk about too. Gonna get real exciting for that MLB stuff too. Real juicy scoops that we've got. Now, you guys also know that when it comes to this podcast, right, you guys know how we do things. We're going to give you guys our thoughts, our opinions. Everything is very much opinionated here, debate topics, things like that. We've got all that stuff for you guys. So if you guys are a fan of all that stuff, do me a favor. Make sure that you go ahead and you do me a huge favor and you like and subscribe to the podcast, right? You like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you share this video with a few of your friends, your family members, coworkers. Doesn't matter. Just share it. Guys, we are at 75 subscribers. I've been saying this for the last couple episodes. Do me a huge favor and share this with as many people as you can because we are trying to reach the 100 subscriber number. Yes, again, I've said it before. 100 subscribers is a very small number, especially for some of the other podcasts and YouTube channels out there. But for us, it means a lot because that means 100 people are subscribing to see this content and are wanting to see this content from me, from George when he's here. And it means a lot to us both. So guys, do me that favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we've got a lot for you guys today. And I want to preface this too, guys. If I sound a little different this episode, it is because I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold. Was not feeling too hot this weekend, but we're feeling really good to do this podcast since we have so much good stuff for you guys this week. Now, without further ado, we are going to jump straight into this week's episode of the podcast. So again, welcome to episode 81 of the Figures of Sport podcast, guys. We are super excited. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to start off light. We're going to talk about the MLB Rookie of the Year award winners. In the American League, you've got Mr. Kurtz from the Oakland Athletics, the first baseman, rookie phenom. The guy was a stud this year. Shout out to him. Hats off to him. Other awards such as the AL and NL MVP, the Cy Youngs, those have not yet been announced, but the Rookie of the Year awards have. And then in the National League, Drake Baldwin, catcher for the Atlanta Braves, won the National League Rookie of the Year award. So going forward, we are going to have to see if there is going to be some controversy in Atlanta as they just paid Sean Murphy a couple years ago. I believe he has the largest catcher contract. I'm sure Cal Raleigh will beat that pretty soon. But for the time being, Sean Murphy of the Atlanta Braves has that catcher contract that is pretty hefty. And then they have a guy in Drake Baldwin that can absolutely be their catcher of the future. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out down in Atlanta. Now, guys, I told you we're going to start off light. Next up, the MLB gambling scandal between Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. I believe that is who it is involved in that. Listen, I know we haven't talked too much about the scandals and the gambling scandals as of late, especially because sometimes we are promoting some gambling stuff, right? The one thing I'll tell you this is I got no connection to Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. I did not profit on none of that stuff. I'll tell you that right now. Those guys, but listen, let me tell you, those guys are a couple of idiots. You gave away your career in Major League Baseball when you make multi-millions of dollars per year on your contract. You give that away to make a couple extra $1,000. And I get it. Taxes, things like that. You want to maybe send this to your family because a lot of the money, based on some of the reports that we've seen, a lot of that money was sent to the Dominican Republic, probably family members and things like that. But Emmanuel Clase has actually been accused of doing this since 2023. So that leads to a lot of questions. You know, in the playoffs, was this still going on? Was he possibly throwing games in the playoffs to make a little bit of extra profit? I mean, listen, it is probably the most idiotic thing I have ever seen by a couple of players, and something so public. Like, I mean, I'm sure that all of you guys who are kind of following this a little bit have heard of the video. I believe it's Luis Ortiz where he's pitching and he literally throws, I believe it's a strike or a ball. I can't remember. But he drops the F-bomb, right, after the pitch, which is a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, it was a strike, right? He drops the F-bomb after the pitch, which is a little bit concerning because it's like, well, you just threw a strike. Why wouldn't you be happy about that, right? So a lot of questions there, man. It's just a bad look on these guys. And again, my whole thing is you just threw away your entire career for that, for just a couple extra grand. It's so stupid, so idiotic. I cannot believe that we are in 2025 and MLB players are making so much money per year that you choose to throw your entire career away on something like that. Regardless of the reason, you make enough money per year to help your family, to help your friends out in the Dominican Republic. But if that is what you're doing, what the whole purpose of this was to help out friends or family, whatever, sending money back, you could have done it with the salary that you're making. And that's just my thoughts on it. Really, really stupid move. And the MLB doesn't play. They're going to come down with a hammer on those guys. That is absolutely 100% for sure. Like they are coming down with the hammer on those guys. I would almost guarantee that Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase will not throw another pitch in Major League Baseball going forward. And I'll be honest, that's the least of their worries. They just better hope that they don't get 60 years in prison because the FBI's got them. So shout out to those guys for being two complete idiots and ruining their careers and just jeopardizing the integrity of baseball with that one, man. As you guys know, I'm repping a Seattle Mariners hat right now. Baseball is my favorite sport. I played it growing up. George and I, we became friends through baseball in high school. One of my other closest friends was a high school teammate of mine as well. So baseball is something that's very sacred to me, very near and dear to my heart. It's my favorite sport. Played it, love it still. Obviously, you guys know that. And just to ruin the integrity of the game by doing something so stupid like that is it's just a shame. Steroids, I'm cool with, right? Like I believe Barry Bonds and A-Rod, those guys, Roger Clemens, all those guys should be in the Hall of Fame because I think the Hall of Fame is completely invalid until those guys are in it. But doing something that is blatantly like causing a true disruption in the game, like a gambling scandal like this, throwing games like that, it got no place in sports for me. So shout out to those guys for being two complete idiots and ruining their careers. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And then, of course, you guys know, next up, we've got the NBA. Now, for the NBA, we're going to touch on, because we just talked about the MLB gambling scandal, we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA gambling scandal, because that Terry Rozier thought he was in the clear. Guess he wasn't, right? We don't really know what the hell is going on. They're pretty hush-hush on the NBA one right now. But Chauncey Billups was involved in a poker or card scheme with the mafia. Like, what is going on right now in sports, man? There's been a lot of uproar about sports betting in general kind of being a huge cause of this thing, and I get it, right? Obviously, I think last year or 2 years ago, you had the Jonte Porter thing, so it's just a lot to deal with this sports betting. I guarantee you over the next few years, we're going to start to see that definitely be regulated a little bit differently, because I just think there's no way that the NBA and the MLB and the NFL, I mean, can be involved in this. Obviously, other sports as well, but obviously with those being the three major American sports, there is absolutely no way that they're going to allow this to continue. So I would expect a change on both the state level and federally, and of course some changes across league rules as well. So that is going to be something to keep an eye on. But other than that, we're going to get down to the actual NBA stuff. Some breaking news that came out today was that Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, or former general manager, I should say, of the Dallas Mavericks, was fired today. I believe last night when the Mavericks were playing. Patrick Dumont, the majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks was sitting courtside with a Lakers fan, or maybe a Mavericks fan, but he was wearing a Luka Doncic Lakers jersey, and they had a conversation. And I guess the next day, Nico Harrison gets fired. So very interesting. I would love to kind of be a fly on the wall in that conversation and just know what exactly was said in that conversation that led to the decision. Obviously, the Mavericks have been very bad this year, starting the year off 3-8. It just wasn't a good start. And then, of course, Anthony Davis got hurt, so that obviously derails them a little bit more. They're still waiting on Kyrie to come back from injury. But the whole thing was that Nico Harrison was the whole architect of the trade, right? But at the end of the day, the Mavericks ownership is they should not be forgiven for this either, right? You still have to sign off on that trade. And they did, because they believed in Nico Harrison's vision, and it came back to bite them in the ass very quickly. You see what Luka's doing in LA. He got in shape, all these things. And then on top of that, hearing that Nico Harrison last year, a big thing was you're talking about Luka not being in shape. He can't play defense, things like that, right? Now look at him. I'm not saying he's the best defender in the world or he's in the most physically gifted athletic shape right now, but he's in a lot better shape than he was before because those things motivated him, right? So Nico Harrison now is going to be the guy that everyone points fingers at, but let's not forget that the Mavericks ownership plays a huge, huge part in that too. Obviously, Nico Harrison is going to be the scapegoat here. It's so easy to point fingers at the general manager and say it's your fault, but they signed off on it. So both of them play a huge part in that deal. But obviously, it came back to bite them in the ass. The Mavericks are not going to be contenders like they think they are, or they thought they were after that trade, saying that defense is going to be the reason that they can get back to the NBA Finals. Well, guess what? They got to the finals with a fat, out of shape, no defense playing Luka. Now you gave him to the Lakers basically for nothing. Not to discredit Anthony Davis and Max Christie, but compared to what you could have probably gotten if you put him out on the market and said Luka Doncic is available to be traded, you probably could have got a lot more. I think that's the whole thing, right? Anthony Davis is a guy that I respect a lot. I think if he's healthy, he is a top 15, top 10 player in the NBA. But again, it's a very, very hard thing for Anthony Davis to stay healthy, and that sucks. But the Mavericks it's going to be a lot of change coming to that Mavericks organization soon, I think, because obviously things are not going the way they planned. But other than that, we've got some other stuff to talk about, like the Pistons sitting atop the Eastern Conference, which is a big shocker, I would say. They are 9-2. We are recording this on Tuesday night, so I'm not sure if they're playing right now, but that obviously could change. And again, I mean, that I think is the big shocker here. Like, no one really expected the Pistons out of all teams to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. We know that, the Celtics are banged up and they're not healthy. So obviously they're probably not going to be contending for a championship this year. But to see the Pistons there at number one right now through the first 11 games is a bit of a shock. Definitely would have thought that teams like the Magic and the Knicks would capitalize on the now new openness of the Eastern Conference, but the Pistons are. Shout out to Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren's been balling as of late, and they're still not fully healthy. And on top of that, they lost a bunch of key guys: Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway, Jaden Ivey's hurt. Like, this team is solid, and I would expect them to remain a threat in the Eastern Conference. Maybe they're not a true championship contender just yet. Maybe they're a piece away. But, yeah, I mean, they're a good team, man. They're fun to watch, that's for sure. Stressful sometimes, I'll tell you that, but a fun team to watch. Now, on the Western Conference side of things, the Thunder are 10-1 to start the season. Surprisingly, they took a loss. I believe it was to a shocking team, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull that up just to make sure who it was. But I mean, the Thunder are miles ahead of everybody else. I mean, it's like the Thunder, and then there's a huge gap. And I really love the Denver Nuggets. This year, I thought that with the additions they made of Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, they were going to be a really, really good team. And I think they still are a really good team. But the thing is, the Thunder are just that much better. I mean, think about it. They are 10-1, and they do not have Jalen Williams. They lost to the Trailblazers last week, Wednesday, November 5th. In a very close game, 121 to 119, and that was their first loss on the road in Portland. So tough place to play, but yeah, I mean the Thunder are clearly miles ahead of everybody, guys, and it's not even close. I genuinely would not be surprised if they were able to repeat as NBA champions. Obviously, it's a tough road. The Western Conference is solid, but they are hands down the best team in the NBA. Now, some other things about the NBA. Just some early season thoughts that I've got. Let me tell you, when we look at the Western Conference, right, and you look at some of the teams there, you've got Sacramento in the 11th spot right now. I think this team needs to blow it up. You know, you're running the Western Conference version of the Chicago Bulls from a couple of years ago, and it's clearly not working. A couple of years ago, De'Aaron Fox made some comments about the team's personnel and identity and things like that. Last night, Zach LaVine makes some similar comments about defense and team personnel and things like that too. So I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we're going to start to see some of these guys get moved, like a Zach LaVine, a DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis. I just think this core group together, it's not going to work. Again, you guys are running the Western Conference version of the Chicago Bulls from a couple of years ago, obviously with a couple different pieces. Like Sabonis, instead of Vooch, you got Sabonis. Instead of Lonzo and Caruso, you got Russ and Schroeder. Like, it's just not going to work. And, a lot of talented pieces on that team, just it's not going to fit as a cohesive unit. So I'm going to make this prediction now on Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Come the trade deadline, the Sacramento Kings are going to look very different. That is my prediction. Memphis Grizzlies, I think Ja gets traded. Whether it's this season or this offseason, I think he's going to get traded. I just think there's a lot going on in Memphis, and he's not happy there. So I think he just needs to go somewhere else. He needs a fresh start. And then other things, the Rockets, really good team. The Lakers look really, really good without LeBron, man. This is going to be a fun team to watch, I'll tell you that. We're getting a lot more out of Austin Reeves than we probably thought we were going to get, which means that guy is going to get paid big bucks. So be on the lookout for that this offseason. And then other than that, in the Eastern Conference, Chicago Bulls started really hot, my hometown team. 6-4 now. I believe they were 6-1, and they have lost 3 in a row. So tough road, but they have played one of the hardest schedules through the first 10 games in the NBA. So just to see the Bulls look good, look fun to watch again. This is all without Kobe White. Very exciting. So, but other than that, I think that's all I got for NBA right now. Guys, what you've all been waiting for. We are going to get down to the football talk. And you guys know what that means. That means we got to bring in the one, the only, my brother, G Money, back to the podcast. Welcome back, George. Guys, let me preface. George was at the game, the Bears game on Sunday. So he's going to have a lot to talk about. He's going to be very animated. What a game to go to, by the way. Yeah. I'm a little upset because you asked early in the week if me and our other boy wanted to go. And then guess what? Sunday morning at 11 a.m., I get a message from you, and look at where you're at, right? But guy had a great time. Can't wait to hear about this. I'm hearing. I heard a little bit after the game, but you guys are going to get the full animated version of George telling his experience at the Chicago Bears game and in their comeback against the Giants. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. But George, tell me, welcome back. How you feeling this week?
Feeling good. Had to take last week off. I had to do some stuff for work, but it's good to be back on, ready to talk some football. A lot happened this week, a lot of good, a lot of bad, so I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, all righty. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is the best games of Week 10. And George, we're going to start with the early morning game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. Jonathan Taylor just keeps on going. Man, I mean, 244 rushing yards. And the guy is he's legit ridiculous. Like, he is legit ridiculous. I really have no words, but I mean, he powered that Colts offense in Berlin, Germany.
Yep.
And they had a comeback win. Went to OT and they did what they had to do. They handled business and they are now record wise, they have the best record in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, or they're tied.
I think they're tied with the Broncos at 8-2 right now.
They're tied with both the Broncos
And the Patriots.
But I think they have the tiebreaker over the Broncos because of that win.
Because they win.
And then man, what are your thoughts on that Colts team, bro?
Yeah,
Or that game in general.
The game was, honestly, I know a lot of the times we kind of joke that we're punishing other countries by sending over like bad teams to play in bad games, but this was an exciting game, high-powered, high-scoring game, overtime game, which was exciting to see at 8 a.m. Jonathan Taylor just continues to impress week after week after week, proving why he is this year's best running back in the NFL. And it's getting very, very hard for people to not acknowledge that he should be the MVP because of what he's doing. If you take a look at it so far, they're 8-2, right? So the first 10 games this year for Jonathan Taylor compared to the first 10 games that Adrian Peterson played in his MVP year, as of right now, Jonathan Taylor's clearing those numbers. He has over 100 more scrimmage yards and 10 more touchdowns than Adrian Peterson did when he won the MVP. And he has 17 touchdowns right now at 10 games, right? They have 7 more games left. This is his fourth game this season with 3+ touchdowns in the game. His fourth game with 3 or more touchdowns scored. And I don't know. I'm going to go on a limb and say I think this dude's going to go for 30. I think this dude's going to – I know it's going to be insanely rough and hard and impossible probably, but he's got 17 touchdowns in 10 games. I think he's got at least 2 more games where he gets another 3 in each one. And if he gets if he can somehow manage 30 touchdowns, how do you not give him the MVP?
Yeah, I mean,
so far what we've seen this year, right? Let's look at that loss against Pittsburgh, okay? He had a bad game. He had 40 rushing yards, and they ended up losing. The other loss was to the Rams. He had a decent game. He had a pretty decent game against the Rams. The Colts just beat themselves. But in a game where Pittsburgh eliminated Jonathan Taylor and forced Daniel Jones to try to win that game, it turned out bad. 5 turnovers from Daniel Jones in that game.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough. And then again this week, I don't think Daniel Jones, I could be mistaken. I have to go look at the stats.
I'll tell you right now.
I don't think he threw a touchdown in these last 2 games. I think he has.
No, he did. Last the
Steelers game, did he have one?
He did, yes.
Okay, so if you can look up real quick, what is his touchdown to turnover ratio in these last 2 games?
No, let me see.
What did he have? 5 against Pittsburgh? Did he have one this week against Atlanta?
He did have an interception, yes.
So what is it?
If I'm not mistaken, he had 3 fumbles, 1 lost fumble, and 1 recovered fumble in against Atlanta. Yeah.
So how many total turnovers is that in these last 2 weeks compared to total touchdowns?
So we'll count the 1 fumble, the 1 interception, and then he had
5 turnovers against Pittsburgh.
5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. So
7 turnovers. So 2 touchdowns and 7 turnovers in 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, I was giving him so much praise, but like, I'm gonna try to come back down to reality. Daniel Jones might be on fraud watch, and it might just be because how good this O-line is and how good Jonathan Taylor's playing that they're winning these games.
Yeah.
It might just have to be.
And you know what, George? I know that later we're going to talk about the 2-minute. We're going to bring back the 2-minute warning segment. I know we have our script, right? So we have kind of some things. I'm going to add one after one of the questions, because I think I know what your answer is going to be. So I have a question for you that I'm going to add to that topic, and I think it's going to be a really good one. You may not really debate on it too much, but it'll be an interesting one to add. But I think I would agree. I mean, fraud watch for sure, because it's been very questionable, his performances over the last couple of weeks. And, I just think if it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor, I think we're talking about a completely different team. And truthfully, you weren't here last week, so obviously we didn't get to talk about the trade deadline. But the reason I think that they traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner is because they believe they have their quarterback of the future with Daniel Jones.
And I think that's an overpay. And I wish I was here to talk about it last week.
Yeah, I said
think
that too.
They way overpaid for Sauce Gardner. Yeah, he when he was playing with the Jets this year, without that, I don't know how many games he missed. I know he missed one when they beat the Bengals, but he allowed he had some good numbers, right?
He's
but
a good quarterback. I don't think he's elite enough to get 2 first-rounders.
Dude, you're telling me he went for the same price as Micah Parsons? You think he's worth the same as Micah Parsons? Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay.
But anyway,
Jets,
I digress.
I love talking shit on the Jets. I don't know if I can say that word, but I love to talk shit on the Jets. What they did at this trade deadline, I know they got rid of Sauce, they got rid of Quentin Williams, but they just hauled in 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Go rebuild. They got to stop winning games because you had the number 1 pick locked up, and now you're over here beating the Browns for what reason now?
There's no reason.
For what reason?
Yeah, I don't get it,
I
man.
don't know.
But hey.
Yeah, I think Colts way overpaid for Sauce. Do I think he's a good cornerback? Yes. Do I think he's worth 2 first-round picks? Not in this lifetime. He's not.
No.
You can get someone like Pat Surtain for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Someone like Derek Stingley, Sauce, I think maybe one first-round pick.
Yeah.
For sure, a second-round pick. But 2 is
also
insane.
Going back to that game real quick. I saw
and he got cooked by Drake London. Sat his ass down.
So someone on Twitter. So this is a couple of things I saw on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
About
right?
The kicker?
No. It was saying that, all right, bro, your name's not Sauce no more. You're Ahmad Gardner now. Like you lost the name Sauce at this point because you're getting sauced up all the time.
Yeah.
But the other thing I saw was someone on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. They were saying that to NFL fans in Berlin, Germany now, the way they rank.
I got a story about Germany for the Bears game though.
Okay. The way they now rank running backs that they've seen in Germany, it goes Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Algier, and then Bijan Robinson. So that was I saw that and I was like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, I don't know what Raheem Morris must Bijan Robinson must have slept with his wife or something like that. I don't know why Algier's getting something. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And you're not giving the ball to Bijan. I don't know what is going on with Bijan. Why are they not giving him the ball?
Yeah, I don't know.
He must have some dirt on him or something.
Yeah,
he must have done something.
I don't know. But anyway, we'll move on to the next game,
go to
George.
Next game.
We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears, the comeback versus the New York Giants. The Bears erased a double-digit deficit in the second half. And, man, Jackson Dart goes down with a concussion. Russell Wilson comes in, and the Bears defense says, you know what? It's time to feast, and they sure did. Speedy recovery, Jackson Dart, but thank you for not playing the rest of that game because the Bears were able to get a dub, a very, very needed dub, by the way, because of the fact that their schedule gets a lot harder after week 10.
Yeah.
And
we got the gauntlet coming up right now.
That was a very much needed win.
I can almost guarantee for the rest of these games, besides the game against the Browns, the Bears are going into each week as underdogs. I can almost
100%.
I can depending on how the Niners situation, if they tend to fall off, I know depends if Purdy comes back and Purdy wasn't playing well earlier, but he was injured. I don't know how their situation is going to go. If they fall off a little bit, but it's probably just going to be that Browns game where the Bears are favored.
I would say maybe the Steelers.
I don't know. Maybe it's Rodgers.
Yeah, but
Rodgers always cooks the Bears.
I agree. But with the way the
We'll
Steelers have
see.
been playing,
We'll see.
it's a possibility. But other than that, I mean,
Even
yeah,
if
I
we
would
are
say
favored for that game, I think it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be barely by a field goal. Usually teams they get favored by a field goal when they're home, but I don't even think it's gonna be the full 3 points. But we'll see
I
how
wouldn't
that
be
goes.
surprised because I mean, honestly, going into this, man, there is, when you look at weeks 11 through 18, there is 2 games, like I said, the Steelers and the Browns, that those are the games that I feel like are not safe because nothing is safe in the NFL, right? You
Yeah.
never can expect anything. You can never guarantee something in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I mean, week 18, you end the season against the Lions. Week 17, you've got the 49ers. Week 16, you got the Packers. Week 15, you got the Browns. Week 14, you got the Packers. Week 13, you've got the Eagles. So, I mean, and then this week we've got the Vikings. So,
did you hear about that crazy thing going on Twitter between Bears, Eagles, and Broncos fans? They call it the Vic Fangio Football Club Alliance.
Yeah,
because he coached all those teams.
Yeah,
and it's so the thing started off with just Eagles and Bears because we played their division and they play we play each other's divisions this year.
Yeah.
And it started during that Cowboys game where we beat them, and then they wanted us to beat, obviously they wanted us to help them beat the people in their division so they can stay ahead. Yeah. So we beat the Cowboys, the Commanders, and now the Giants, and it's like an ongoing thing. And they had beaten Minnesota already, and they did us a favor and beat the Packers, which helped us move up a little bit to the second spot in the NFC North. And now we moved up to the 6th seed in the NFC, and now all they have left is Detroit this week. So if they beat Detroit, then we're both 3-0 in the division, and it's going to come down to that Black Friday game where the alliance has to get put on hold and we have to fight our allies. But it's gonna be good. I don't know where these people come up with it like this, but it's awesome. I think it's pretty cool to have random people become allies in the sports world that you would never thought. Why would us and the Eagles? The Eagles, we lost to the Eagles in that wild card game on the Cody Parkey double doink, but now all of a sudden we're alliancing with them when we should hate them because that was the game that us Bears fans dread the most. And now we're hoping, and it's awesome. I think it's pretty funny to watch.
That's why you love sports, right? That's why you love sports.
Yeah, that's why you love
sports. Now, since we're talking about this Bears game, George, give me real quick. Tell me your experience at the Bears game.
It was amazing. Don't. I am a diehard Bears fan through and through. This was this was my second Bears game ever. The first one was in Detroit this year, so this is my first Bears home game. It was cold. It was the first snow game of the season, so the vibes were high. It was going good. First drive, had some momentum, whatever. We scored early, 7-0. Then Jackson Dart turned it up, and I've said this before. Jackson Dart is a really good quarterback. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player in this league, especially starting next year. He gets his running back back. He gets Malik Neighbors back. I think they're going to be one of the more fun teams to watch in this league. Sadly, we didn't get to see it this year. The one thing I do have to say about Jackson Dart is he's got to learn to go down. And Brian Daboll did him no favors by keep running like a quarterback draw every 2 plays. Yeah. Especially, I know the Bears give up a lot of yards passing. They were killing us with Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson and Johnson and Bellinger. They were killing us.
Yeah.
And you just 100%. Keep drawing up QB draw plays.
Yeah.
He ends up getting hurt, unfortunately, ends the game. Russ comes in. I'm not going to lie. Once I saw Russ take the field, my nerves went away. I just knew it. I was like, I'm not even worried anymore.
Yeah,
I can 98% guarantee Dart stays in that game, we lose. And I went into this game, obviously I want the Bears to win, but I'm like, I don't care who we play. I don't fully trust this team to go in and be confident with a win yet. Yeah, even though I want them to win, I always say they will win. The confidence is not there yet because of what we've experienced throughout the years. So I just knew there was always going to be there's always a chance for any team to lose. I mean, look at what happened with Miami and Buffalo. Any team can lose at any point.
Yeah, I agree.
The cool part is Bears win. Walking out of the stadium, everyone, the Green Bay sucks chants walking down, by the pillars going into the tunnel, and I hear someone behind me with an accent, and I'm like, that sounds weird. And he's talking to his buddy, and he's like, "Yeah, I flew in from Germany today." And I was like, oh, you came from Germany? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm a Bears fan. I flew in today to watch the game. I'm like, what are the odds? Like you fly to Germany, you fly here from Germany and they have a game in Germany today. You should have went to that one. That would have been cool. He goes, someone asked me why I didn't watch that game. You know what I said? I was like, what did you tell him? He goes, I didn't go. He goes, I didn't go in Germany. I didn't stay in Germany to watch the game because the Bears aren't playing in Germany. They're playing here. So he flew all the way to Chicago. I'm like, dude, you're the reason why we probably won that game.
Exactly, right?
And it was just amazing. He said the reason why I didn't stay and watch the game in Germany is because the Bears were playing in Chicago, not Germany. I thought that was cool. All in all, it was a great experience. This is Caleb's fourth game-winning comeback, game-winning drive in the fourth quarter. He was obviously – if you have to watch the game. Don't be a stats and score box like watcher only. Like you have to watch that game to realize Caleb was the best player on the team that day on Sunday. Like the amount of sacks he avoided, the amount of throws he made, the receivers did him no favors. There were 7 drops that game.
Yeah.
The one DJ Moore.
I saw what you did there. I see what you did there.
Okay, we're not making those anymore. The DJ Moore one in the end zone, the open one to Zacchaeus in the end zone. And speaking of Zacchaeus, like, okay, yeah, he can be good every now and then. I think it's time for Luther Burden to step up. I think Luther Burden needs to be the wide receiver 3 on this team. I'm tired of Zacchaeus with these drops. He had the one against Washington, which was crucial. He had a touchdown today. He had another one for a first down. He had a touchdown on Sunday. Another one for a first down on Sunday. The Monangai had a drop. Swift had a drop. Rome had a drop. Like, we got it. I get it. It's cold. The ball's hard. But if it's in both hands, you got to catch it.
I agree. 100%.
Defense, they stay fighting, man. That's the thing about this team. They continue to fight, which I love to see. And, CJ Gardner-Johnson. What an addition he has been. Why the Eagles released him, I have no. Why the Texans cut him, I have no idea. Why the Ravens didn't sign him. They had him for a minute and then they dropped him. I have no idea. But in 2 games with the Bears, he has 3 sacks and a forced fumble.
Yeah. Shout out to Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson for believing in him.
He is balling out right now, and this is what I wanted from the Bears. 6-3 was no one's mentality coming into this.
Yeah.
But what I said coming into the season, I believe I said this in the pod, is all I want for the Bears to do is to fight. To make it go down to week 17 or 18 and continuously be in contention for the wild card spot. That's what I want. You don't have to make it, but show the progress to where hey, we could have been a playoff team. We just have to fix this, and this, and then the future looks really good. Right now we're sitting at 6-3 with a gauntlet coming up. Right? So now we have Bears football going into the rest of November and December. That's meaningful. Shout out to Big Cat. I listened to his podcast. This is what he was saying. Almost verbatim. He's saying this is what meaningful football in Chicago through November and December is what we want, and this is what we're gonna get now. We have 3 games of leeway to kind of if we lose one, it's okay. We'll still have a game. Maybe we can get another one back. These next 2 games, we have to at least go 1-1. These next 2 games against Minnesota and Pittsburgh, we have to at least go 1-1.
And I'll be honest, if there's any game right now between those 2 that means more, it's definitely the Minnesota.
One. It's the Minnesota game. You need to win the Minnesota game because you cannot fall. Even if you lose a Minnesota game and win the Steelers one, the Minnesota one means more because that means you'd fall 0-3 in the division, and you can't have that, especially with it being so close. With it being so close, you need to have a divisional win. Everyone's got a divisional win already. The Minnesota has 2. The Packers have 1 already. They're 1-0, I think. I think they only played 1.
Yeah.
The Lions have 1.
Yeah.
They're 1-2. So we need this. We cannot fall 0-3 in the division. We need this win more than we need the Steelers one.
Yeah.
I mean, getting both meaningful football through the end part of the season is what matter. Games that matter for the Bears. Usually we're already out of contention. It doesn't matter anymore. Now they matter.
Last year we had 4 wins going into the bye. Didn't win a game until the last game of the season, right? So, and I think the biggest thing between the difference from last year and this year is the fact that this team will fight. Yeah. And that's all that you care about seeing, right? Last year, it felt like if it was a 10-point deficit, you can almost guarantee the Bears were going to lose.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that the body language, the coaching, the decision making
has changed.
The culture has changed.
The players believe in what Ben Johnson is feeding them. Did you know in the 3 seasons Matt Eberflus was the coach? He won 14 games in 3 seasons. We're almost halfway there in half a season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We're one win away from half that total wins in half a season.
And
They're
mentioned
buying
earlier,
into what's being taught and coached and preached in that locker room, and that's what makes players play to their highest expectation. When they actually believe in something, they want it more. They didn't believe in Matt Eberflus. They didn't care. They were there for the paycheck. If they won, whatever. If they didn't, who cares? They get paid because the locker room was not there. There was nothing there. They didn't have a leader.
Now it's a completely revamped culture in Chicago, which is the most important thing. Something that Bears fans can be finally excited about. And you mentioned earlier too, Caleb avoided a bunch of sacks. I saw, because I was talking to a couple buddies. I was playing 2K on Sunday night, right?
I know.
And after the Sunday night football game, played 2K for a little bit, and we were talking about the Bears, and we were super excited. And one of the things that we talked about was Caleb Williams and his lack of sacks taken this year. So, George, do you want to know something?
Go ahead.
The Bears are 6-3. Through the first 9 games of last season, Caleb Williams took 38 sacks through the first 9 games.
Usually you finish the season with 38 sacks.
This season, he has 14 sacks taken in 9 games. That right there just shows how much more growth that Caleb Williams has had. Yeah. Also,
the O-line has a lot of credit for it too. 100%. Darnell Wright is playing.
He's been incredible.
He completely shut down the NFL sacks leader.
Did you see Brian Burns?
Look,
he put him on his ass.
So funny thing is, one of my buddies who's a Giants fan, I was kind of trolling him with that. I'm like, oh, he sat his ass down and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, he caught him on a spin move, buddy. Like, it's not that. He caught him on a spin move. Yeah, he got him on his back.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. No, it was a great block. He did, he got his back, whatever it was. But he completely locked down Brian Burns the whole game. Yeah, he got through one time. Caleb shrugged him off on the spin move.
Yeah,
it was like Caleb, and Caleb's if you watch him, he's not the tallest guy. But he's built like he's a bigger built quarterback. It's hard to take him down. He's hard to take down.
He's shifty too. He's mobile. He's shifty.
He's faster than he looks, and he used his legs that game. The touchdown run, and the 24-yard game to put him on the 2-yard line.
And you know what? I think last year, I don't want to stay on this game for too much longer.
Yeah,
but last year he talked about being Caleb Williams, and then when the time comes to become he was called Superman, right, at USC. When the time comes, go Superman mode, right? And I think he's finally learning that you don't need to try to be Superman every single play.
But this game, he needed to be.
Yeah.
He needed to be, and he did it.
And you know what? And you do it. It's all about when you do it, the timing of that. And sometimes when you try to do too much, too fast, especially your rookie season in the NFL, it's a rude awakening. This year, he's allowed Ben Johnson to kind of slow down some of those old tendencies and kind of come into his own.
Make him see the game slower and feel slower. And this is what Chicago has been hoping for. Last thing before we move off. This is what we've been hoping for. This is what we've never seen. We've never seen a quarterback with the ball in his hands to win the game. They win the game. It didn't happen much with Mitch. It didn't happen at all with Justin Fields. It didn't happen. We never saw it.
Yeah.
It got overlooked a lot last year because we ended up losing that game. The defense giving up the win. And the block kicks or whatever. But Caleb had on occasions multiple game-winning drives. Yeah. Multiple. He brought him back in a game against Minnesota to take him to OT. He brought him back against Washington to give him the lead and the Hail Mary. He got him in field goal range for against the Packers. It got blocked. He brought him down the field in field goal range against Detroit. We don't call a timeout. Why doesn't Eberflus call the timeout? So he's getting us down the field to score and to win. But it got overlooked because we faltered as a whole team. This year, against the Raiders, he got us down to take the lead. Against the Commanders, he got us down in field goal range to score. Against Cincy, he got us down there. The touchdown winning drive after our defense gave up 2 points, 2 touchdowns in under a minute and a half or whatever it was. And then against the Giants, another 2. We were down 10 points, and in his last 2 drives, they get touchdowns because of him. He's a clutch player. We're seeing that if the ball's put in his hands when it matters the most, he's going to perform for you. Yep. And we never saw that before. And that's something Bears fans can be excited. And I don't care who we played. You can only play the people on your schedule because there's a lot of teams with good records right now who have played teams. You can blurt that one out too. They played horrible teams, but that gets overlooked. That gets overlooked for some reason. But it only matters for the Bears. I don't care. We're 6-3. We're more than happy with where we're at right now than what we thought like our record would have been. And now we have a tough schedule, and now we'll see the development if it happens. And that's all that matters right now.
Yep, because guess what? Wins in the NFL are hard to come by.
They are hard to come by.
Them,
you can only play on your schedule, and you'll never apologize for a win.
Exactly.
Never.
Now, we'll move on to the last game that we have under the best games of Week 10. The Houston Texans, with Davis Mills as the quarterback, rally against the Jacksonville Jaguars, down 29-10. And they come back, and they have a second-half surge. A lot of momentum shifting plays in that game, and the Texans were able to come back and win that, man. That was a hell of a game, and I think for me to watch that game, it was just really cool to see, just because of the fact that it's Davis Mills, right? They performed a lot higher, they performed a lot better than what we thought they were going to perform as, especially going down 29-10. Coming back from that deficit, the Jaguars have been said to have a decent defense too this season, and they just collapsed. But the reason this is on the best games is because of the comeback. It's not because of the collapse. It's because of the comeback. So shout out to the Houston Texans for that dub, because that was a much-needed dub that they needed without C.J. Stroud. So shout out to them. Their defense showed up in the second half big time.
100%. What is that? 26 points. And you know what? I keep eating my words. Stuff that should be proven true. It just keeps throwing back in my face. I said it's going to be very hard to see another team come back and put up 33 points in a quarter like the Broncos did. We've seen one team do it somewhat similar, not to the full extent, a couple weeks ago. I can't remember the team that happened with. And then we see it 26 with the Texans with Davis Mills. At this point, I think I should just stop talking. I think you need to bring on another guest to the podcast, because stuff that should be true. This season is so weird, dude. And honestly, it's good. I'm so tired of seeing the consistency of the same teams are always good. The same teams always make the playoffs. Nah, throw me some curveballs. I'm here for it. I love seeing all the shenanigans happening throughout the league right now. It's fun. It gives us more content to talk about every week. Sure. It really does. Yeah, I mean, good win for the Texans, bad loss for the Jaguars. And then news broke out today. Travis Hunter had season-ending knee surgery, so he's out for the season. That's a big loss. Hopefully they can get. I mean, they made that trade for Jacoby Myers, which is it's really good for them now that they're out Travis Hunter. Hopefully they get Brian Thomas Jr. back soon. I know they weren't working with their top two receivers this week, but that's still no excuse to give up that many points in the fourth quarter. So hopefully they can turn it around.
For sure. Weeks. All right, now we're going to talk about a couple of very disappointing games, and we're not going to stay on these too long because they were stinkers. But we've highlighted three of them. Now we're going to jump right in. First one is yesterday's Monday Night Football game. I mean, what a snooze fest. I mean, I get it, right? Solid defenses on both ends, the Packers and the Eagles, but this was one of the most boring. I'm going to be honest, I think I enjoyed watching the Raiders-Broncos game just a little bit more than watching this game.
You're lying to yourself.
Man, dude, I mean, it was so bad.
You're lying to yourself.
Bro, it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad, but you knew.
I mean, up until the fourth quarter, that was
it was bad. It was bad, but compared to the Broncos-Raiders game, right? At least with this game, you knew at any point one of these like high-level players can just turn it on in a beat.
I mean, of course.
And we saw the big screenplay. Barkley took off, and then the touchdown to Smitty. And then it was just a lot of confusion going on in this game. The play calling on both sides was just atrocious. And I saw today that the Atlantic had posted, is Matt LaFleur now coaching the rest of the season for his job? And I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
I think he should relinquish play calling duties, especially after these last 2 weeks. With that loss to the Panthers and now this week, but I don't think he should be fired. I don't know what's going on specifically with the Packers. I don't know why if LaFleur called the play, which I'm sure he did, why they ran the ball on 4th and 1 with Jacobs out of the shotgun.
Yeah,
that was crazy because you know what? Even if that was the play call, Jordan Love has been in the league for a while now. Even though this is his third year actually playing, he's a vet. He's a seasoned vet. He's a playoff quarterback. He's a high-paid quarterback. When the defender is verbally screaming like 3 seconds before you hike the ball, it's inside zone. It's inside zone right here. You should audible the play because you know that's your play.
Yeah, and Josh Jacobs literally came out and said right after. He said they called that out, and it made me change my mind as a runner.
Yeah, he changed directions. He started left, and he goes, and then goes right, and then he ends up fumbling the ball.
Yeah, because of the fact that now they're in his head saying they know this play.
No, even if that was the play call, as soon as the defender calls out your play right then and there for the game on the line, you should audible out of that play.
You got to change that out.
You got to audible that timeout or call a timeout.
Yeah.
And talk it over with your coach to get a better play.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. It was it was such a bad game offensively called. And I get why you're saying that maybe he's not coaching for his job, but I think it's because of the fact that maybe some of the reasons that people are saying that is because of the fact that he has not, like, in the playoffs is obviously where things matter, right? So you think about it. You've had the last 3 years with Jordan Love, and then you've had the seasons prior with Aaron Rodgers, where you're not having.
This is the third season with Jordan Love.
Yeah,
but
so this
going
is
back
the third
3 years.
Season
The last year with Rodgers, they missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
The first year with Love, they were the 7th seed. They got that crazy win over the Dallas where they just demolished them, and they ended up losing in the second round. And then last year, you were the 7th seed again and lost in the first round. So this year, right now, you're currently sitting at the 7th seed right now, I think, if the Packers. So if they continue with the 7th seed and then possibly get another first round exit, I don't know.
That's why I'm saying, because also you have to take into account who have two of their 3 losses been to. The Browns and the Panthers, and the Eagles.
Honestly,
the Eagles is an understandable one, but that Cowboys game.
No, I don't even think it's an understandable one. That shouldn't be excused. The defense held the Eagles to 10 points. If you hold the reigning Super Bowl champs to 10, think about all the losses. They held the Browns to 13 points. They should have won that game. Jordan Love throws a pick at the end of the game. Bad pick. They held the Panthers to 16 points. Did you know? I was watching First Things First today. I'm kind of stealing their material a little bit, but shout out to them. I was watching it this morning while I was at work. Did you know? In games where the opponent has scored less than 17 points,
I saw that.
The league is 62-5. The Packers are 1-3.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think those conversations are being had with Matt LaFleur, because it's now you have not had success in the playoffs outside of the Dallas win, and you're finishing as the 7th seed, right? So. That is why there's questions. At the very minimum, play calling, he needs to relinquish play calling duties. That is at the very minimum.
Jordan Love is not playing like a $55 million a year quarterback.
Yeah, and you know what?
He's not. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in the last 2 games.
And Jordan Love is going to do that.
And he had more, just like Daniel Jones. But this time, he has no touchdowns in the last 2 games. And how many picks did he have against Carolina? 2?
Yeah.
It should have been 3, though. Guy dropped it in the end zone. It was right in his hands. I don't know why he threw that ball. And then he had another fumble today, on last night. He had 2 fumbles, 1 for a loss.
Yeah.
So he's
He had one pick against the Panthers. Yeah, but still,
one pick
the
points, and then he had another turnover here. But he's not throwing touchdowns. If it wasn't for Josh Jacobs scoring that, like they have no points. Like and they don't pick. LaFleur doesn't call for the McManus is garbage right now. The substitute. I guess he really is a substitute teacher. His career long is 61. Why don't you bring him on the field for that long field goal? There were multiple times where they were in the 45 for a field goal and they don't kick it. They punt it.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows. I mean, if that's the case.
And it's hard to defend the Packers as a Bears fan, but it's
yeah, of course.
Like, come on.
But there's just a lot of inexcusable things that they are doing offensively, and
the defense is playing great,
hurting themselves.
The defense is playing great. The offense has to show up, and Jordan Love looked great against the Steelers. And I told you that was one of the first games we've seen where the defense and the offense played great together at the same time. Throughout the whole season, that was questions. Oh, the offense plays great this game, but the defense does it. Against the Browns, the defense played great, but the offense didn't. Like, against the Panthers, the defense played great, but the offense didn't. Against the Eagles, the defense played great, but the offense didn't. It's more of the offense not playing well now.
It's more consistently the offensive slack.
And I get it. I know you lose Tucker Kraft. He was your best receiver. Jaden Reed is still not out there, but you get your deep threat bet in Christian Watson. You got some O-line injuries. I know they said Jenkins is on IR now, so he's out for 4 weeks. But I mean, that was a winnable game.
100%.
That was such a winnable game.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It was a bad loss for them.
Yeah.
The Eagles should not have won that game. They skirted out of there real quick because they know they shouldn't have won that game. But guess what? As we said about the Bears, doesn't matter how, as long as you get the win. And the Packers just are not finding the right ways to win. They're winning games, and it seems right now that 5-3-1 record is very fluky because I'll be honest, if they continue at this rate with the way they're losing games to bad teams.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, in the NFL, the good teams beat the bad teams 9 times out of 10. Right now, the Packers can't do that. Because if you win that game
right now,
against
it's
the
like
Browns,
a lot of some good teams that can't beat the bad teams.
That's the thing, right? But the Packers, you had 2 winnable games, right? So just look at the implications of those 2 wins, right? Let's just say the Eagles one stays as a loss. If you win that game against the Browns and you win that game against the Panthers,
and you
now,
should have won that game against Dallas.
You should have won that game against Dallas 100%. But let's just say that stays as a tie, right? You are now 7-1-1, which means, guess what? You're in first place in the NFC North. You're probably in second place? Maybe
I think they'd be first because I think the best team in the NFC right now is the Seahawks or the Rams, and they're like
Seahawks
7 and they're 7-2.
Yeah, so you would be
you would be first in the NFC.
Yeah, so that just goes to show how much winning those games that are very winnable when your defense does their job, it matters. So,
and then I think if the Packers somehow, if they do squeak into the playoffs with the 7th seed and they're a first round exit, I can possibly see LaFleur getting bounced because you traded 2 first round picks for Micah. So you're out 2 first round picks the next 2 years because you went all in on for this year. You think this could be the year and you don't win. And now the next 2 years for your future are kind of screwed because of those 2 first round picks.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that's the thing here. That's why his job is coming into question. But at the very minimum,
but Jordan Love also has to play better.
100%. At the very minimum, though, the play calling duties by Matt LaFleur need to be relinquished, at least for now, just to see how things go. If things end up looking worse, Matt LaFleur takes back over. But
some of those sacks Love took and that fumble, was I don't know what happened there. Why he decided to try to throw it there.
But again, sack. It's not on just Matt LaFleur. It's on Jordan Love too.
It's on the whole offense in general.
You are a $55 million quarterback. Start playing like it. That's the one thing I could say. Start playing like it, because guess what? You can't perform like a $55 million quarterback whenever you want. If you're getting paid $55 million, there are expectations for you to perform week in and week out, and Jordan Love is not doing that. And that's why they are currently slotted in at the 7th seed right now. So very tough. But next game we're going to talk about is the Bills and Dolphins game. This was a game that obviously everybody expected the Buffalo Bills to win, right? But the Dolphins put belt to ass on the Bills.
I think the Bills were even favored by 10 this game. Like
Devon Achane ran all over that team.
Stupid.
All over that team. And guess what? I was this close in my other league to acquiring Devon Achane.
Yeah.
He saw that trade. Like my buddy that I was making the deal with, the offer was already sent. He talked about it. He's like, all right. He's like, I like it. We'll do it after this week because I want to beat this guy. I said, okay, cool. Sounds good.
And so honestly, if it wasn't for Achane and I had Gibbs this week too, I wouldn't have won because the dude had Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I know.
I survived the Jonathan Taylor week. I'm one of those guys that can say they survived when they play Jonathan Taylor in fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, also with that, imagine waking up. It's like, I mean, obviously I know you were up earlier.
But I don't know how you guys score your leagues, but I woke up this morning. I had 0 because I hadn't started yet, and I see 54. What happened?
Insane. Yeah, insane.
Who got 50? How many players did he have playing? Oh, just Jonathan Taylor.
Just Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor.
Sometimes that's all you need, right? But yeah,
Stafford,
so
what a pickup too from waivers. Stafford is MVP? Question mark. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But I mean, this Bills and Dolphins game, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna have questions about the Bills later too. But I mean, what were your thoughts on this game?
Disappointing. Disappointed in the Bills defense, in the Bills offense. and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I can't believe a defense that performed like they did against the Chiefs a week ago. Was it a week? 2 weeks? A
Yeah.
week ago.
Yeah.
Had this performance against the Dolphins. I get it. It's a divisional rival, but the Dolphins haven't beaten the Bills in over 1,000 days. Did you know that? In 1,000 days.
It's been years.
And a team where they traded Phillips, they were trying to clean house. Yeah, you let CTE Tua and Devon Achane with tissue injuries just destroy you. Just destroy you. You can laugh if you want because it's pretty hysterical.
Yeah.
And this is honestly, I said it before the trade deadline. The Bills either need to go get a pass rusher or a wide receiver for Josh Allen, and they did neither, and they suffered both casualties because of that. The defense got cooked, and Josh Allen continuously has to throw to Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. Get this guy a top wide receiver in the league, or a competent wide receiver. He doesn't have to be a top 5. Get him anywhere between a top 10 to 15 guy.
Do you want to know something? Did you hear about the Jalen Waddle trade?
What, they were going to trade him to the Bills?
The Bills offered a 2027 first-round pick for Jalen Waddle. Supposedly, they were trying to go all in, yes, and try to get Waddle.
Crazy. I think that might have been even if they did get that, I think that might have been an even worse trade than giving 2 first-round picks for Sauce, because Jalen Waddle's not worth the first pick. I don't care. They offered top 10 receiver.
They offered a 2027 first. The Dolphins denied it because they wanted a 2026 first.
Oh, they wanted this year's first.
They wanted this year's first. They said
honestly,
no.
Why wouldn't they? Either way, the pick is going to be towards the end of the draft.
Exactly.
So does it matter? Does it matter anyways?
That's my thought. And in my personal opinion, I think the 2027 NFL draft is pretty loaded, especially at the wide receiver position. Yeah, because you're going to have guys like Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. Those guys are coming out by that time. So I think that was a better maybe just right now off the top of my head. I can't think of too many other guys at this very moment from the 2026 draft class, but Jeremiah Smith being one of the guys that comes to mind in 2027. It's like, okay, well, because at the end of the day, if you really said we have our quarterback for, in Tua, we believe in Tua, we're going to stick with Tua. 2027, you can say, okay, maybe we can trade our pick and the Bills pick and go get Jeremiah Smith and really solidify our wide receiver room now. But whatever. But yeah, so that was that. So the Bills got a lot of work to do, and we're going to talk about them a little bit more later. But we'll move on to the last game for the disappointing games of Week 9, and it was the other primetime game on Thursday night, the Broncos and the Raiders. Sloppy game, a lot of turnovers, missed opportunities. Just a ugly game, and I'm not going to stay on this one too much because it was just a bad game. It was boring, snooze fest. And I'll tell you this: my biggest thing that I've realized after this game was that Bo Nix is absolutely not the quarterback of the future for the Broncos. He is not.
I disagree. I think he is, and I think he will be. I think the play calling has to be better. But I do think that this defense does, if anyone, honestly, if you're not going to give it to Stafford or May or Taylor, it should be this defense that gets MVP because they're carrying these guys to an 8-2 record, and it's honestly absurd having to watch Broncos offense in any primetime televised game, because it's getting disturbing, this play calling. I think Bo Nix didn't just become bad all of a sudden. There's no way. There's no way he just became bad.
The thing with Bo Nix is that he does not seem to trust his receivers. His immediate first instinct is drop back. If the first read isn't there, run. You can't always have that. You have to let your routes progress and get deep into your drop so that way you can allow these guys to get open, right? I mean, just think about it.
Are they getting open?
Some of them are. If you really watch, some of these guys are.
I think it's crazy how Courtland Sutton's not getting fed the ball more.
I was just about to say that. Is there any reason that Courtland Sutton is not getting the ball?
You bring a guy like Evan Ingram, who's a competent and pretty good tight end. Yeah. His usage, I know, has not been good this year at all.
His first few weeks, he was battling injury, right? He comes back. He has a couple solid performances. You're thinking, okay, he's coming back from injury. They're warming him up. He's going to be a solid addition. Then he's nowhere to be found, right? And then it's now Troy Franklin has become the wide receiver one on this team, right? Then you're not targeting Courtland Sutton, who is the vet, who is the guy that's open. He gets open. He's not getting fed the ball, though. So it's those things that make me question Bo Nix's ability as a long-term fit for the future as the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. So that is why I say that, because you cannot have a quarterback whose first instinct is immediately to run if the routes aren't progressing, because guess what? As a Bears fan, you know who did that too well. Justin Fields. I'm not saying that's the same situation, but it's looking like sometimes he does not trust his receivers to get open and let the routes progress so they can get open. And the Broncos have a solid offensive line. Like, they're not the worst, they're not the best, but I mean, that's where my thoughts lie. But that's all I got to say about this.
So. And I told Brandon this last week because he asked me if I had a parlay for that game for you guys, because you like to do Thursday night parlays.
I'm so glad we didn't.
I said absolutely not. I do not like this game. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. You couldn't even pay me to bet on this game. And man, 10-7. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
Lo and behold.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to move on, and we've got some of the top storylines going into week 11. Guys, we still got a lot to talk about. We're sitting at an hour, so we're not going to keep you guys for too much longer, but we still got some really big things to talk about.
Just a little bit longer.
So some of the top storylines we've got heading into week 11, the Patriots winning streak and Drake May's rise. What are your thoughts on the Patriots right now and second-year quarterback Drake May?
Look, I think he's balling, right? I think he's playing at a high level. I love what Vrabel has done to turn this team around, this franchise around, especially what they've been going through the last couple of years. They're a 7-game winning streak right now? Yeah. 8, 7, right?
Yeah.
But again, the same thing I said about the Bears earlier. Yeah, they just beat Tampa, who I said before, I think Tampa's record, I think the record doesn't display how good they really are. I think the record is showing that they're this good, but they're really like this good, if that makes sense. Like I don't think they're.
You're talking about the Patriots?
No, the Buccaneers, Tampa, okay. Like who they just beat. So I think Tampa's record, they were like, there shows that they're this good. But I think they're really this good. Like I don't think they're playing to what their record shows. Okay, I know they're battling some injuries, but still. And then the other significant win that they've had was the Bills. Yeah, the Bills was a good win, but look, but now it's like concerning. Like, was it a good win? The Bills just got blown up by Miami. They lost to Atlanta, but they beat the Chiefs. So I don't know, are they good or are they not good? What are we gonna get from them every week? Yeah. And then the other teams that they beat, who?
Exactly. Yeah.
Panthers.
And listen, I think the big thing here, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it a little bit more, but is people, like you had mentioned earlier, and we've said it all along, wins in the NFL are wins, right? So why is it that for some teams, shout out the Chicago Bears, their 6-3 record, they're discredited for who they've played, right? You haven't played this team or you haven't played this team, but who have the Patriots played? And I know one of my boys who's a diehard Patriots fan, he'll see this and he'll be pissed off, but at the end of the day, the quality of wins matters, I think, just a little bit more, right?
Just looking at their games right here. Week 1, they lose to the Raiders, which looks like a terrible loss now because the Raiders stink. Then they beat the Dolphins, but the Dolphins stink. They lose to the Steelers. The Steelers are average. They beat the Panthers. I mean, Panthers aren't good. They beat the Bills. The Bills are good or are they not good? We don't know. Like, what's happening with them? They beat the Saints. They're trash. They beat the Titans. They're trash. They beat the Browns. They're trash. They beat the Falcons. They're trash. They beat Tampa. They're good, but they're not as good as their record shows. So it's like they beat bad teams, and they have this huge win streak. And don't get me wrong, May's playing great. I think he should be considered definitely for MVP. Like, he's playing 75% completion rate? It's absurd. He doesn't have a top wide receiver. He's doing with no wide receivers. That, Stephon Diggs is there, but he's old and just can't, he's playing good, but he's not a top wide receiver. Like, they're winning and they're doing this. But people overlook the teams that they play. But when it comes to the Bears, and this, I'm a Bears fan. Like, I'm gonna talk about this. Big deal. Like, go for yourself. Sorry, you can blurt that one out too. It's the complete opposite argument with them. They beat the Giants, they beat the Raiders, they beat the Cowboys. Like, okay, well, they lost to the Raiders, they lost to the Steelers. Why do we make the argument for one team but not for the other team? Is it because Caleb was one? Is it because you hate Caleb paints his nails? Yeah. Caleb paint his nails and then truck your ass over for a 24-yard touchdown.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, good, they're winning. They're my favorite for the AFC right now. I don't think there's a team that's more consistent than them, that's playing good on both sides of the ball consistently like them. They're
But
my
I need to
favorite
see
right now.
them. But I need to see them beat a really solid team.
Yeah,
before
well,
really
you're not gonna see it for a while, buddy, because they got the Jets this week, then the Bengals, then the Giants, and then they got the Bills again. The Ravens should be a good one, depending if the Bills and Ravens should be a good one, depending on how that goes. And then they close it out with the Jets and Dolphins again. So if they lose to the Bills and Patriots, and they're what, 8-2 right now?
Yeah.
8-2, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're gonna be 13-4. They're gonna be 13-4, and their teams are gonna come against teams that are under 500 mostly.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. Yeah. But
I mean, he's playing ball. He's playing ball.
Shout out to the Pats. Shout out to Drake May. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if we can qualify them as a true contender just yet because of the fact.
I think they could be a true contender because of contender for the Super Bowl is tough because they're definitely a top team in the AFC. They'll secure the top spot. They'll win that division.
They're going to win a Super
some of these
Bowl?
quarterbacks in the playoffs, they're different. They're different. Like Mahomes in the playoffs is different. Josh Allen in the playoffs up until like the championship game is different. Lamar in the playoffs, the first 2 rounds is different. Like these guys are different. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a different caliber in the playoffs.
It's different. Like the Bills beat the Chiefs every year in the regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, Mahomes lays it on them. Like these guys are different in the playoffs. They'll continue to beat on the teams here, the Patriots, but we'll see. We'll see if he can do it in the playoffs. And I hope he does, because that just makes it when they play the Bears again, hopefully soon, and Caleb runs through them, and hopefully it'll be that much sweeter.
Yeah, I agree.
You can have an MVP, but we beat you. Just go ahead.
That's true. I'll take it. All right. Now, the next one I want to talk about real quick is Jonathan Taylor's dominance. What does that mean for the Colts?
That means you better do everything and anything possible to make sure he doesn't get hurt.
The Colts' identity is Jonathan Taylor.
It's 100% Jonathan Taylor. It's 100%.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
It's 100% Jonathan Taylor. There's no denying it. This guy's running for like 200 yards a game and 3 touchdowns.
It's Jonathan Taylor, and then everybody else.
This guy, you remove Jonathan Taylor, you're sacrificing damn near 14 points a game.
At least, yeah.
Like so, you better, like, without him, they're not the same. So and honestly, sure. I could be wrong. I don't think it's happened yet. With this, I mean, so far, could this be the first time we see a running back earn $20 million a year?
I mean, he got paid a couple years ago, but I think after what he's doing right now,
he's definitely gonna ask for some more money.
I mean, Saquon after last year, I believe he got an extension on his deal.
Saquon got $12 million a year, right?
Saquon, I think he's 12, but I think his new contract puts him up to like 16 or something like that.
Oh, maybe, especially if he gets anywhere over like 25 touchdowns and can get 2,000 scrimmage yards, and I think he's gonna ask for a contract. But think about it. I mean, you're gonna have to pay you have Sauce Gardner's contract, which is tough. That's a tough contract. Yeah. You're gonna have to pay Taylor soon. Again, probably gonna want an extension. Then you're gonna have to figure out if you're gonna pay Jones or not.
Yeah.
You're gonna let him walk, or you're gonna give him an extension, and how much is he gonna ask for? How much you're gonna give him?
Yeah. A lot of questions they'll have to see in the offseason, that's for sure.
Yeah, but no, Jonathan Taylor is the Indianapolis Colts. Without him, they can't win. I don't think they will win. I don't think they could win how they're winning right now.
100%. That is a fact. I would agree with that 100%. Now, the next one, Brian Daboll got fired.
Yes, he did.
And you want to know something funny? I also saw this on Twitter. The last 3 Giants coaches that played the Bears and lost to the Bears got fired. That's funny. You
know what's funny? The Bears, I noticed this year, they're just ending seasons for teams. They're just ending seasons. The Washington game, season's done. Then you got, what was it? Now the Giants, season's done. All right. Cowboys, season's done. No, I don't care what Jerry Jones says or who he trades for. Their season's done.
Yeah,
they're out here ruining seasons, baby. Raiders, season's done.
Hey,
I love it.
You know what?
It makes me happy. But no,
I think a couple years ago it was always the exact opposite, by the way.
I don't think Daboll should have been fired.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't think so either.
no. Okay, let me rephrase. He's had, besides that one season where they went to the playoffs and they beat the Vikings in the first round and then got demolished second round, he's
Yeah.
had bad seasons. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
He's had
I agree.
bad seasons. But you didn't even give this guy a chance to have your star quarterback for the franchise
Yeah.
with your starting running back and your star-studded receiver.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should have
We saw it for like
at
a
least been here
quarter. We
last
saw it
year
for
or
one
next year.
quarter. Huh?
He should
Yeah,
have
it should
stayed,
have been
in my
one.
opinion,
You
through.
should have given him one more year.
Yes.
But I mean, we saw it for one quarter. All three play at the same time, and then Malik Neighbors gets hurt.
Yeah.
So it was tough. I mean, he does if he's running the play calls, like he was running dart to the ground. Like he's
I
taking,
agree.
especially with a guy like he's leading with his head every time. I mean, you got to teach him to get down. I don't know. It's a tough. I could see why they fired him, but I mean, me as a fan, I was like, damn, I really wish he had one more year so all three of these guys can play together and really see what it's like for that offense.
Exactly. I
But
think that is.
I
I think they pulled
I
the
can
trigger
see
a
the
little
move. I
early.
mean, but think about it though. This is the fourth game where they had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
and they lost.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, my thing is the first instinct is to can the head coach. Brian Daboll is not a defensive coordinator. You have guys on defense,
He's not a defensive
right?
coordinator, but you should still be able to put up points though, if that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
just think
Especially, and they were thinking about firing him after that Denver game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was a massive collapse. But my thing is I just think the reason I say I think they pulled the trigger a little too early is just because of the fact that, like you said, you played a quarter with Neighbors, Scatterboo, and Dart together. I think especially with the fact that Brian Daboll was considered the guy who helped revive Josh Allen's career, right? Give him a full season with his healthy running back, his healthy wide receiver, and his starting quarterback, the star quarterback of the future for the New York Giants. Give them some time to mesh together.
Yeah.
He didn't have that opportunity. So now
I can see why they did it, but I can
I
also
do.
argue why they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I see both
I
sides,
don't. I
100%.
mean, but
I see both sides, but
I'm not an NFL owner.
yeah,
I'm
I
not an
see both
owner.
sides.
Yeah,
But
that's what I do.
I mean, it's going to be tough now because there's obviously there's going to be a lot of question marks as to who they bring in, because obviously you're going to want to bring in a guy who can maximize the abilities of Jackson Dart and that those offensive talents that they got in Scatterboo and Neighbors. So we will see what happens this offseason. That's for sure. Now, the next thing, last thing for the storylines is Dan Campbell took over play calling. Was that just for like the revenge game against Washington because the Commanders put belt to ass on him last year in the playoffs, or is that like a permanent thing, do you think?
I don't think it was just a revenge thing because I mean that play calling was bad against Minnesota last week. It was
Yeah.
bad. And against a team like the Commanders, who their season's done. I mean, their quarterback's out right now. Supposedly it's not season ending, but I don't know. And Marshawn Lattimore had a season ending injury, so they don't have their star cornerback. I think Dan Campbell took over the play call because of what happened the week before. But I mean, what was the play call really? It was give the ball to Gibbs, throw it to Jameson Williams, Gibbs. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, Gibbs had 3
basically.
touchdowns over like how many yards did he have? 200 all-purpose yards?
Something like that, yeah.
Dude, I mean, he was just crazy. Like, shout out to him. He won me my fantasy. But like, I want to see him do it against good defenses because again, I don't think he's a good play caller. There was a reason why they were so bad that year they finished like 8-9 or something like that. And then they ended up winning because they gave it to Ben Johnson. Sorry, I know I'm making you beep it out, but like I'm in
He's
full
locked in.
like I'm just locked in right now. But like there's a reason why he had to give up his play calling and Ben Johnson turned it around into what it is because of his play calling. We'll see how the play calling looks against Philly this week. It's going to be a great game. I think it's a Sunday night game, right? Sunday night. It's going to be a great Sunday night game. Hopefully, it's not like the stinker we just had, where for the first half it was just atrocious for the Steelers Chargers. It was like 5-3 after the first quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't think he's a good play caller, but change my mind.
Yeah, we'll see. Right?
Change my mind.
I mean, different players now. So with Gibbs, obviously, and JMO, but we'll see what happens.
And honestly, I think Dan Campbell's gonna be like, "Oh, I just called the plays and we put up 44 in a BTA fashion. I'm gonna call the plays against the Eagles. We'll see how he does it. We'll see how it goes.
Be interesting. We'll see. Hopefully, that's a good game, man. I really do hope so. But all right, George, next up, we've got the Week 11 predictions. All right. So we're going to fly through these real quick.
Yeah.
You know how we do it. So let's jump right in. And the Thursday night football game, Jets and Patriots. Give me the Patriots.
Give me the Patriots. I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I am not giving you guys a parlay for this game. I think it's going to be an absolute stinker. I think the Patriots just wash them. Justin Fields won a game, but he only threw 6 passes, completed 6 passes, 50 yards. They had 2 touchdowns from special teams. I don't think it's going to be anywhere remotely close. I am not giving you a parlay for this game. Stay away from it.
All right.
No,
Madrid game. We've got Washington and the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
I don't really care. Give me the Dolphins.
All right.
That game is just so terrible. Now we got Spain on our two for this one now. It's just
Panthers
so bad.
and Falcons.
Oof.
Give me the Panthers.
You think they win on the road?
Yeah, give me the Panthers.
I don't think so. I think the Falcons want revenge for that 30 piece.
All right.
I think Bijan has like 2 tutties, 200 yards this game. I know they have a good run defense, but he wants it back. Go ahead.
All right, we'll see. Bucks and Bills. Give me the Bills in a get right game.
Give me the Bucks.
At home. I think they're at home too.
I don't care. Give me the Bucks.
All right. Chargers and Jags. Give me the Chargers.
They both need to get right games. So I think the Bucks are gonna get it. Well, they're gonna want it way more.
Okay. Chargers and Jags.
Chargers.
Chargers. Bears and Vikings. Give me the Bears.
Give me the Bears. It's another scary game, dude. I mean, every game for the Bears is scary. Got to get back. I hope number 9 shows up like he did against Baltimore, though.
9. That's my alter ego.
That was so corny, dude.
Oh, what a cornball. Green Bay and New York. Give me Green Bay. Bengals and Steelers.
So funny if I hope they start Jameis, and I hope he lights it up. I hope they start Jameis, and I hope he lights it up, dude.
Oh my God, I died.
500 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 picks, but they win.
Oh, hilarious!
It's gonna be a cinema.
Steelers and Bengals. Give me the Steelers to get their get back.
Yeah, no. Give me Joe Flacco. He just threw 470 yards. He's not going to do it again, but they need this win. They have Joe Burrow at practice now. They need these wins. They're 2 games behind the Steelers, 1 game behind the Ravens. And looking at that Ravens game, it's looking like a win. So they need this to stay 1 game behind both of them.
Okay. All right.
For Burrow to come back, hopefully by Thanksgiving, they said.
Week 13, yep. Texans and Titans. Give me the Texans.
Texans.
San Fran and the Cardinals. If Purdy's back and Pearsall's back, give me the San Fran.
Give me Jacoby Brissett.
Okay. Seattle and the Rams.
So tough, dude. This is game of the week. I see. Look at this. I wish they flexed this to Sunday night. No, I wish they flexed this to Monday night because Eagles just played Monday night, so they're not going to do that again. I wish they flexed this to Monday night because man, we got to look at this show we got to watch on Monday night. Look at this, dude.
Terrible.
I
can't believe we got to watch that.
We got to watch this? Yeah, man. Oh, man. I want to see it so bad, but I don't know. Give me... Did these teams play each other already?
No. Damn. Give me Seattle.
Nah, give me the Rams, dude. I think Puka's going to shred these DBs.
Okay. Give me... All right, we'll see. Baltimore and Cleveland. Give me Baltimore.
Give me Baltimore.
Kansas City and Denver. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, give me KC.
Eagles and Lions. Give me the Lions.
Come on, Alliance. Give me the Eagles, baby.
I'm with
the Alliance.
I want to say the Eagles.
Give me the Eagles. Let's hope the Bears win and we take first the NFC North. Come on, Eagles. Do it for us one more time.
Cowboys and Raiders. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys.
All right.
Come on, Eagles. We went 3-0 for you guys in your division. You got to do the same for us.
Please.
Come on,
please. I'm just, you know what? Change the pick. Give me the Eagles.
Don't change the pick. Don't change the pick.
Give me the Eagles.
All right. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go back to all the episodes we did. All 10 whatever episodes except the ones that I didn't do. And you're going to add the ones that all you did do. And we're going to add the records for what we predicted and see who's been good and who's been not good so far.
All right, we'll do that.
We're gonna have the records up next week. We'll go through it the week and we'll go over the picks of what we did. We'll see who won those games. And by next week, before we go over the picks, we'll put up the records to see who's doing what, so who makes the picks better, who knows more ball, and then we'll continue holding the record up for the rest of the season goes by.
All right.
I just know like some of these games I picked just didn't go well because teams just want to flood their pants.
Oh yeah,
teams want to flood their pants.
It always happens, brother.
It always happens.
All right. Next up, the 2-minute warning. We're bringing this back since you're
How many timeouts we got? None? We in tempo?
No, we got one because
We
we're
got
Matt
one?
Eberflus, but we're not going to use it.
We're
By
not
the
gonna
way,
use it.
we're not
Okay,
using
so
it. So
we're
we're
playing with
pulling a Matt
tempo.
Eberflus.
Okay.
Yeah. So all right. So we got a couple of questions. These are going to be quick. I highly doubt we're going to need even a full 2 minutes for each of them, but we're going to fly through these. So the first question I've got for you is, can the Bills contend in the AFC with that defense? And your timer starts now.
I'm gonna say yes, and I don't think it's not the defense that what scares me, because we saw what the defense did against the Chiefs, so we know they could play good. It's the offense that what scares me. Like Josh Allen cannot be Superman every time. He needs a receiver to rely on, a top receiver that he knows he can just throw the ball to like at least 10 times, 12 times a game, and they're gonna come down with it. But he doesn't have that, and James Cook can only be good for so much before teams just scheme around it, and then Josh Allen has to throw to Shakir or Josh Palmer or Keon Coleman, and Dalton Kincaid is a good target for him, but he doesn't have that elite receiver to rely on like he did with Diggs before. So it's not the defense that scares me with the contention; it's the wide receiver room.
Okay. All right. Mine, I'm gonna say yes. I mean, I'm gonna say no. Sorry. Um, just because I think that defense gets lit up way too easily. They can't stop the run. They can't stop receivers. I mean, we saw what Bijan and Drake London did a couple weeks ago. They played really, really good against the Chiefs. It's like you can't pick and choose when to get up for games. So I think because of that, I'm gonna say more consistently than not, we've seen that their defense gives up way too much. So because of that, I'm going to say that no, this defense is going to be the reason that they are not able to contend for a Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Got 3 candidates for the MVP award. JT, Stafford, Drake May. Who you got? Time starts now.
I'm gonna go with the pick that's probably not gonna happen because it's the most fun and it should be him. It's gonna be Jonathan Taylor for me. I mean, this guy had. I mean, like we said before, this guy has compared to Adrian Peterson's MVP year throughout the first 10 games, he has over 100 more scrimmage yards and 10 more touchdowns. This guy has 17 touchdowns in 10 games, and he just became a 1,000-yard rusher that game. So, I mean, what this guy is the sole reason that team is 8-2 damn near. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I get it. Stafford is balling, dude. I think he has like 15 touchdowns, 0 turnovers in the last 4 games or something like that. Like, it's insane what he's doing. Maybe even more touchdowns. Drake May's playing phenomenal too, but and the MVP is going to go to the guy who has the ball in his hands every play, and it's going to be a quarterback. But if this guy somehow hits 30 touchdowns, how do you not give it to him as a running back? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it should be Jonathan Taylor for the fun.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. The reason I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford is right now he is 4th in the NFL in passing yards at 2,427. Surprisingly, Drake May is above him, or not surprisingly, Drake May is above him. But two other guys who are above him are Justin Herbert and Daniel Jones. What a shock, right? But Stafford has one of the most incredible touchdown to turnover ratios, 12.5. 25 touchdowns to 2 picks this year. The guy is scoring throwing touchdowns at an elite rate through the first 10 games of the season. I think, and on top of this, he's 40 years old. The guy is balling out right now. The Rams are looking like true contenders because of him. I think if you put any other quarterback on this team right now, they're not putting up the same numbers as him. Yeah. They have one of the most efficient red zone offenses in the NFL. And on top of that, they are primarily throwing the ball in the red zone and within 10 yards. And they have Kyren Williams. So he's doing
Devontae
things.
Adams is there too. So he's racking up a lot of touchdowns too.
I agree. But he is putting the ball in places for these receivers and these tight ends and these running backs and everything. So because of that, he is my MVP right now. JT is a dog.
No,
but
it's a good pick. You got a good pick. Like if I had to bet on it, I would bet money on Stafford.
Yeah,
I would bet the money on Stafford if I was to make that bet. But JT's the fun pick. Like,
oh, I agree. I
would
love to see JT win it. I would love to see JT win it.
He's got almost 20 touchdowns. He has almost 20 touchdowns halfway through the season. Like what?
Yeah, but now that we talk about JT, this was the question I had for you. Right? I'm gonna give you a little preface real quick. Through the first 10 games of 2024, Saquon Barkley had 197 carries for 1,137 yards and 10 touchdowns in his first 10 games, right? Jonathan Taylor, through his first 10 games this season, he has 189 carries for 1,139 yards and 17 total touchdowns.
So he has more yards on less carries and more touchdowns.
He
Who had
has
more yards? Who had more yards?
JT by 2.
He has 2 more yards on how many?
On 9 less carries.
And he has 10 more touchdowns. How many more touchdowns? 7 more touchdowns?
JT 7 more touchdowns, yes.
Yeah,
but who are you taking? 2024 Saquon or 2025 JT through the first 10 games?
I mean, it's tough because last year Saquon had the best O-line and what he did was amazing. And now this year, Jonathan Taylor has the best O-line and he's amazing too. So I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor, and I'll tell you why. Jonathan Taylor is my pick because Saquon had Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith around him. And Jonathan Taylor has Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Daniel Jones. So between the quarterback and 2 wide receivers that I just listed, who are you taking for your team?
Yeah, I mean,
see what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Like, there's more threats. Like last year, there were more threats to worry about than just Saquon. This year for the Colts, it's like you're not saying, "Damn, we have to play Michael Pittman Jr." You're saying, "Damn, we have to play Jonathan Taylor."
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? Teams are scheming around Jonathan Taylor. Last year, teams had to scheme around Hurts running, Devontae Smith deep ball, A.J. Brown deep ball contested catches, and Saquon. Yeah, like right now, like we saw what just happened. Steelers schemed around Jonathan Taylor, held him to 40 yards, and they got blown out. Daniels had 5 turnovers. This year, we've seen games where the Eagles are winning, and Saquon has 30 yards rushing. Actually, sorry, he has 40 yards rushing and 30 were on the first 2 plays of the game. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Jonathan Taylor is more exciting because he's doing it with less talent around him.
I agree.
To take away the attention from him.
Fair point.
That's why.
All right. Okay. Fair point. Next question for this segment. Should JD5 return this season? Quick yes or no?
No. Why? For what reason? Their season's done. Why bring back your injury-prone second-year franchise QB for a season that you're not playing for anything anymore? And just let him get healthy, come back next season. I mean, you're dealing with a bunch of injuries. Terry McLaurin's still injured again. Marshawn Lattimore's out. Why bring him back? For what? What are you playing for at this point? There's nothing to play for. I don't get it. No, there should be no reason why he should be coming back this season.
Okay.
Especially after having 3 injuries this year.
Yeah.
And one that was almost season ending, but you got lucky.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I'm going to say, surprisingly, yeah. Controversially, the only reason I say that is just because of the fact that I think in this sport, reps matter. That's first off. And on the second thing is I think JD5 is going to want to play if he's available, right? Like if the doctors say, no, you got to sit out the next 8 weeks, he's going to sit out. But if they say, hey, you can play in 3 to 4 weeks, I think he's going to be out there because think about it. He probably should have taken more time off for that hamstring injury. He didn't. Then he gets hurt in a blowout game that he shouldn't have even been in the first place. But he stayed in, he played, and he came back probably sooner than he needed to. I think that's just the player he is. So because of that, I'm going to say, yes, he should return just because of the fact that he is the franchise quarterback. I think he's going to go on to try to set an example. Do I think he should? No, probably not. But I think in this case, he will. But that's that. All right. Next question for you. Are the Bucs true contenders after the struggles we've seen over the last few weeks? Your time starts now.
Contenders for the Super Bowl? No, because the NFC is stacked this year, dude. I mean, you got Rams, you got the Seahawks, you got the Eagles, you got the Lions. Like, it's so hard to run through the gauntlet and try to get to a Super Bowl in the NFC this year. And usually it's the AFC that's the gauntlet. It's been like that for the last couple of years. Now it's the NFC. And what's funny is the AFC has the better quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Herbert, Burrow,
But the NFC has the better teams.
The teams in the NFC are way better.
Yeah.
And that's why I think no, they cannot be true contenders for a Super Bowl. But yeah, they'll make the playoffs easily. Like the division's all theirs. They might even get a first round win depending on who they play. Because they'll probably be the 4 seed or something like that, maybe the 3 seed, and then they'll probably play one of those lower level teams like, I don't know, maybe the Bears or the Niners or the Packers, whatever it is. They might get that win, but contenders for Super Bowl, no, because you might have to go through like the Eagles, the Seahawks, or the Rams, and I don't think they could beat them.
Okay, all right,
and the Lions.
I'm gonna say yeah. The reason I'm gonna say yeah, and it's gonna come to a shock for some people, right?
Well,
The
a lot
reason
of
I'm
your
gonna
takes
say
bring
yeah,
you shocks.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, the reason I'm gonna say yeah is just because of the fact that I think Baker still has that it factor about him, right? Like when it comes down to it, he has that certain clutch gene. We saw it early in the season. I think right now it's just the injuries are piled up so high on this Buccaneers team that it makes it that much harder, right? Like in the beginning of the year, you knew you didn't have Chris Godwin, right? But right now you don't have Bucky, so your run game isn't anywhere near as effective as it was before. You don't have Godwin, you don't have Evans for sure now. Like not having some guys is different than having like almost no one. You know what I'm saying? It's like now he's relying on Tez Johnson, and outside of Igbuka, you got Tez Johnson and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember his name. Sterling Shepard, right? Like those are your main wide receivers now, you know? So it's like, and then you got Rashad White, and no discredit to Rashad White, but he's not the runner that Bucky Irving is. He doesn't put, he's not the most effective rusher. He's a really good pass catcher. He's a great third down back, but he is not an effective rusher. So because of that, I think that when some of those guys come back, get healthy, especially some of the injuries defensively as well, they can come back together and put together a really solid season, and something to be proud of at the end of the year. But we'll obviously have to see for that. But yeah, now the last one I've got for you is I think we kind of both agree here, but or pretty close on this at least. Who is the best team in the NFL through the first 11 weeks?
I'm going to say the Rams.
Okay.
But I'm going to say the Rams for now. But
Okay.
my answer, because I'm debating Rams Seahawks.
Yeah.
Both are super juggernauts. Both have good defenses. Both have quarterbacks playing at an insane rate, elite receivers. My answer I'm going to say Rams for now, but I will solidify my answer after they play the Seahawks this week in the 3 o'clock slate.
All right.
I'm going to say Rams for right now, but once I see that game and how they play each other, and who if both teams are playing good, but who's playing like exceptionally better, or if like one has a struggling game versus the other, I will make my final decision. But for right now, I'm going to go with the Rams, to be determined final answer next week.
Okay. I'm going to say the Seahawks. I think the only thing
with either of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick. I mean, it's kind of the same situation here. Like, I'm going to say the Seahawks, but that could change very well after this week, and switch right back to the Rams, because I'm debating between both of those. I just think the major advantage the Rams have over the Seahawks is the run game. The Seahawks do not have a super solid run game, right? Because obviously you got Kenneth Walker, who's going to go maybe 80 yards in a game, and then you don't have a true dominant runner in that offense, right? Which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you kind of have to prepare for both running backs, right? As opposed to really just preparing for like a Kyron Williams. But yeah, I'm going to say the Seahawks. But it'll be a very, very exciting 3 o'clock.
It's going to be a very good game.
For sure.
Very good.
All right. Now, George, we're going to hand this off to you. We're sitting at an hour 38. We're going to try to wrap this episode up in the next 10 minutes or less. But we're not going to short you guys on the content. So the next thing we've got for you is the best and worst fantasy performances of week 10. George, take it away.
Yeah, and I saw the episode last week. He did pretty good, but could use some work on it. So we're going to go off with the best performances first, starting at the QB position. Matthew Stafford, man, he is a baller this year. 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. Another big game from him. Expect to see more throughout the season. Wide receiver, I think this might be his first or second time on the list, but man, he balled out against the Commanders. Jameson Williams, 6 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. But we're also going to sneakily throw in there another one, Jalen Naylor. Is it Jalen or Josh Naylor?
Jalen Naylor.
I'm thinking baseball. I'm Jalen Naylor. I don't know ball. 5 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown. which is crazy because you have Justin Jefferson there. He did nothing. Thank God I didn't take him in fantasy this year. Running back, who else but the great Jonathan Taylor? 244 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 catches for 42 yards. Can't forget to throw that in there. He is by far the best running back in the league. Fantasy best player option. If you got him in the second round, you're a stud. And for tight end, Trey McBride, 9 catches for 127 yards and a touchdown in what was a blowout of a game. So I'm surprised he got this stat line. Now we're going to head on to the worst. Unfortunately, he is here, but due to circumstances, his team was blown out, so he didn't have to do much. Sam Darnold, 178 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. His defense put up 14 points on 2 fumbles, which is crazy. So yeah, he's going to be here on the worst, which I don't think we should see him here again, but we'll see how this goes. Wide receiver Michael Pittman, 2 catches for 19 yards. Oof, tough. Running back JCM, man, what is Washington doing? Why even draft this guy if you don't want to play him? 30 rushing yards. Jesus, that is terrible. And tight end Dalton Kincaid, 2 catches for 37 yards against Miami. Say it with me, all folks. Do better, because this is just atrocious and they might droppable at this point in fantasy if you're putting up these performances on a weekly basis. But that's going to round it out for best and worst. For this week, we'll see you guys again next week. Hopefully, we see more of a consistency with better players being on the best and worst players being on the worst.
All right. You heard it here first. Now, George, I got a couple waiver wire targets for week 11.
The fact that you got waiver wire targets this late kind of excites me a little bit because there's nothing left on waivers this late in the season usually. But go ahead, give it to me.
There really isn't, but you never know. New injuries pop up, things like that. Some guys maybe are overlooked a little bit, right? So, for example, one of the guys I'm going to say, if you were a guy like me and you picked up Arande Gadsden, you might be a little bit worried that he is dealing with a knee injury. But guess what? Dalton Schultz, if he's still available on your waivers, I would say he's a guy to go snag. He has been putting up some really good numbers over the last couple of weeks. And obviously, having some depth at the tight end position, position that's sometimes very lacking at production. A guy that's solid like Dalton Schultz. I mean, hey, he was Jake Ferguson before Jake Ferguson over in Dallas. So he's a solid pickup for you if you need some help there or you're worried about the Gadsden injury, right? Just like I am. Another guy who I'm going to say is Tez Johnson, because guess what? Baker threw touchdowns this past week against the Patriots, but not all of them were to Emeka Egbuka. Tez Johnson got himself one, and I believe he had himself one a couple of weeks ago before the bye as well. So he is one of my waiver wire targets for week 11. And the last guy I've got is Christian Watson, if he is still available, obviously. Jada Reed is out. Romeo Doubs left the game yesterday with a chest injury, undisclosed on how long he's going to be out, if he's going to miss any time. But Christian Watson obviously is the deep ball threat. But again, when it comes to Packers players outside of, honestly, Josh Jacobs, I tend to stay away from. But because of the circumstances, Matthew Golden was out. We don't know if he's going to be out again next week. And then the Romeo Doubs and Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love is going to have to open up his bag a little bit and start throwing the deep ball to Christian Watson. That's why he got paid, right? So make him worth his money. Christian Watson is my last waiver wire target for week 11. George, what are your thoughts on those?
Love these pickups, man. I mean, getting this late into the season, there's not really much you can grab that are going to be standout Baker rate guys, and they're going to be league winners right now. But these are some good options here. 2 receivers on teams that are hurting for injuries at receiver position, and a tight end who it's on an offense where, Nico Collins is there, but they got no one else, so they got to throw the ball to him. A lot of people are struggling at tight end. It's a very skim position in fantasy, so these are some good waiver wire pickups for this week.
All right. Now, George, the last segment of the episode. Like I said, we're going to get y'all out of here quick.
We'll run by these quick
enough, at least. Now, panic levels. I got 3 guys. I'm going to name them. I'm going to name them off, and you're going to tell me what you think. Okay. Cortland Sutton, I'm going to give you a 6 or 7 out of 10. I didn't do that on purpose, but 6 or 7 out of 10 on the panic levels for Cortland Sutton. Justin Jefferson, I'm going to put at a 5 to 6 right now. The reason I have that so high is because I do not truly believe.
I would put Justin Jefferson at like a 9 or an 8. I mean, did you know the 3 worst fantasy games he had this year were all when JJ McCarthy was playing?
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Like I said, I said 6. The reason I say that is just because it's at the end of the day, it's still Justin Jefferson.
No, I agree. He's a baller, but
I don't believe in JJ McCarthy.
I don't either. So that's why I'm putting him at a 9 because, his out of all the games he's played this year, 3 of his worst games are with JJ McCarthy.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
there you
and
go.
JJ McCarthy's there for the rest of the season, bearing knock on wood he doesn't get injured, you know?
Yeah. All right. And the last guy I got, DK Metcalf. He's at an 8 for me, for
Yeah,
sure.
about a 7 or 8.
Aaron Rodgers, first couple weeks, he was on a tear where DK was getting touchdowns almost every single week. In the last few weeks, that's obviously cooled down. But then on top of that, DK is not even getting the ball as much as he was in the first couple of games. So DK is a very volatile option right now.
Yeah.
One of my friends actually said that they are strongly considering dropping him at this point. I don't know if
it's tough.
I'd be
It's
there
tough.
for him, but because obviously, especially in some of these
if
leagues,
he drops him, you pick him up instantly. Like, I don't
100%.
care. Like, you put him on the
But
bench. Maybe a matchup is good, and you take him. But no,
yeah,
DK Metcalf.
but
I mean, those first couple of games in the season where he was getting touchdowns, that was what was saving him those fantasy weeks. His yardage wasn't really there. He's getting. You can watch his games. Like, he's getting double teamed every time. Like,
because he's the only guy there.
He's the only guy there, so it's going to be tough. So that's why I'm panicked on him. He's very touchdown dependent. Hopefully, you can get him in a situation where it's like they're playing like the Saints or like the Titans or something like that. But I mean, in a game where it's the Chargers, their defense has been lackluster, especially in the back end. Like, you kind of hope for him to go off. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't. Like, there were 2 people on him, and Aaron Rodgers not mobile, so they're pressuring him a lot. He can't really get out of the pocket or anything like that. So it's gonna be tough. Yeah, no, DK Metcalf, I'm about a 8 or a 9. Justin Jefferson, 8 or a 9, and Sutton, I'm like at a 9. Like, all 3 guys are on offenses that, like, Corsa's on a bad offensive team right now. They're not moving the ball really well offensively. DK Metcalf, like, he's getting double team. He's touchdown dependent, and Justin Jefferson, I mean, when he plays with JJ McCarthy, he doesn't get the ball. He's not playing well. So yeah,
very tough. Very, very tough. So those were the panic levels for week 10. Guys, we are at the end of the episode. I know this one ran a little bit longer than we probably wanted it to.
Good content though, baby.
But we had a great episode.
There's so much stuff to talk about, man.
This was a good one, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, we told y'all about the MLB gambling scandal. We talked a little about the
I need
NBA
my refund
gambling.
on that. I need my refund on that, fan.
Yeah. If I ever had Emmanuel Clase or Luis Ortiz in a parlay, FanDuel, you owe me money. You owe me
if
money.
If I had what was it? Where did they play for? Cleveland, Minnesota?
Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a couple times I had Cleveland on a money line parlay and they came in and closed out the game and just ruined it. Yeah, run that check
back.
Run
me my money.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, guys, that was episode 81 of the Figures of Sport podcast. Absolute banger. George, always, whenever he's here, we have some bangers. Now, y'all know how we like to end the episodes. We like to ask you guys for one last favor after you spend the last hour plus watching this episode. We just ask you guys, do us a quick little favor. You hit the like button right there, right? You like it. Then right next to that, you click subscribe. After you click subscribe, you press the share button. You copy that link. You send it to your group chats. You post it on your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever the hell you got. You share it with everybody you know. Because guess what?
Like I asked you guys, you turn on post notifications, everything.
Turn on all that stuff because guess what? We pay attention to all that. Because if you guys reply, we're gonna reply back to you, and we'll have a little conversation in the comments.
Give us your takes. We'll tell you how shitty they are.
That too, but or maybe not. Maybe they're not. Right?
Maybe you know ball. Maybe once in a while someone will know ball in the comments.
But guess what? Guys, if you do that, we will be so happy. That just makes us happy. And like I said before, too, we are close to 100 subscribers. Guys, help us get to that goal as soon as possible. And who knows? Maybe at 100 subscribers, we do a little giveaway or we cook up a little something for you guys. So, but that's not happening unless you guys start sharing these videos, all right? So click that like button. Click that subscribe button, start commenting, whether it's here on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is, don't care. Reply to the video or the short form videos because we will reply back. Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of the Figures of Sport podcast, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.